Hi guys, and welcome to your last day of Cultivate Your Core Yoga Challenge. So today's session is going to be just like our first one, except it's going to be high intensity. We're going to throw in all the core movements that we've done over the last few days, and we're going to really make sure the foundations are working. So you guys can roll your mats out and we'll get started. So we're going to start today's session laying down onto our backs. So just come down onto your mat, extend your legs out in front of you. We'll take a few moments just to connect to our breath. So let your feet fall down to the side, relax your shoulders down, and take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Fill your belly with air. And a long, slow exhale. I'm just doing this a few more times. Remember, we want to try and keep the lips sealed. We want to direct the breath down the back of the throat. We want to give the mind something to focus on as we start to warm the body internally. And then on your next inhale, just start to open your eyes, reach your arms behind you. Just stretch your whole body out, like you're stretching in the morning. So really press into the hands, press into the feet. And then as you exhale, hugging the knees into the chest. You can wrap your arms or hands around the shins. And just gently rocking backwards and forwards. And then slowly release the feet down to the mat. So our first movement, we're going to keep the hands down, reaching towards the heels. And we're going to come to our baby crunches. So only your shoulders are lifting up. We're going to do 10 nice and fast. We want to use these movements to get the heart rate up. So nice and fast, 10 baby crunches. Try and feel the lower core working. And 5 more to go. And when you've done your 10, just hug your knees into the chest. And we'll be coming to our side crunches. We've done some before as well. We're going to be taking the palms down to the side. You're going to keep the feet together, keep the heels lifted off the mat. And as you exhale, let the knees come down to the right side. If you want to make it harder, don't touch the floor. And as you inhale, back up to center. So again, we're doing 10 of these. That's 5 on each side. And you're just activating that whole midsection as you find a gentle twist. And just 2 more on each side. And when you've done your last 2, again, just hugging the knees into the chest, we're going to come through our vinyasa. So start to rock backwards and forwards. And when you've got enough momentum, you're coming up into your plank position. So cross the ankles, take the hands down. You can step or jump your feet back. And then coming to your downward dog. So tuck the chin, press into the upper back. Roll your hips up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing through the palms. And see if you can start to press your heels down. So always focus on that long spine before we start to stretch the hamstrings out. And coming through our rolling wave, so a deep inhale. Start to draw the pelvis towards the belly button. Remember to move nice and slowly through your rolling wave. Press into the upper back, activate the arms. And then finally your active upward dog, so you're drawing the hips down. Keep the legs engaged. Press into the backs of the heels. Draw your shoulders behind you. And then on your exhale, tucking the chin. Pressing into the upper back, roll your hips to the ceiling. See if you can sink your heels a little further. And then slowly start to walk your feet towards the hands. Keep your hips nice and high. You can bend the knees a lot here. We're going to find a gentle forward fold. So on your exhale, press your belly button down into the thighs. Press your chest down to the knees. Wrap your arms behind the legs. Hold onto the elbows. We're going to hold for 5 deep breaths. So see if you can feel the weight of the hips coming over the heels. See if you can start to straighten your legs a little bit more. Try not to lose connection with the belly button on the thighs. And then release the arms down. Start to roll up to standing. So drawing up through the shoulders. Find your way to mountain pose. Reach the arms up, take the palms together. Draw your right knee to your chest. And we're coming to warrior 3. So let's take the hands behind us. Start to take your right leg back. Try and make a T shape with your body. Remember, every time you're balancing, your core is working to keep you nice and stable. And then slowly release that right foot down to the mat. Reach your arms up. Come to your warrior 1 position. And then hands to heart center. Draw your knee to your chest. And you're either staying here or coming to kicking warrior. So get that knee as high as you can. Extend the right leg out. And then slowly lower the foot down. Draw your left knee up to your chest. And coming to warrior 3. So take the leg behind you. See if you can reach the arms behind you as well. Find your balance here. And then slowly taking that left leg down. Reach your arms up. Come to warrior 1. Try to relax the shoulders. And then hands to heart center. Draw that left knee to the chest. Find your balance. Remember to engage the core, get it as high as you can. And you're either staying there or extending the leg for kicking warrior. On your next exhale, release the foot down. Take a nice wide stance. So as wide as your mat. Reach the arms up. And on your exhale, sinking down to your prayer squat position. So keep pressing the heels down. Sink your hips down to the mat. Hands to heart center. A few deep breaths before we come back down to seated. And then on your exhale, press the hands forwards. Sink your hips down. Come down as controlled as you can. Draw the feet together. Lower down onto your back. And we're coming to our C crunches. So we did these on our first day as well. The feet are staying together, the knees are staying together, hands just to the outside of the head. And we want to draw the elbows to the knees and the chest and the rib cage to the thighs. So we're doing 10 in total. As you inhale, sit all the way up, squeeze everything together, and as you exhale, back down. So you're doing 10 in your own time. Try and use your breath. Trying to hold the breath whilst we come through these movements. And just squeezing the rib cage up to the thighs. Try and pause when you get up there. You should feel that tummy working. Your core should be burning. And when you've done your 10, you're just going to relax the heels back down onto the mat. Good job. So when you've done your 10, relax the heels down, relax the arms down. A few deep breaths, and then we're lifting the feet off the floor. So keep your feet glued together, keep the knees glued together. The shins are parallel to the mat. We're going to extend the fingers and the arms, and we're going to reach the fingertips towards the heels. So again, we're doing 10 nice and fast. Come all the way up and exhale, back down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, keep using your breath, 3, 2, and last one, relax down, hug your knees into your chest, cross your ankles, big roll forwards, step or jump back to your plank position, and start to roll back to downward dog. So press your hips high, draw the shoulders away from the ears, try to get your heels down towards the mat, and on your inhale, elevate the heels, start to roll forwards. We're going to find our active upward dog. So when you get there, make sure you're pressing through the hands, drawing the shoulders behind you. See if you can broaden through the chest, stretch out the front line of the body, and on your exhale, tucking the chin, roll back to downward dog. And we're going to see if we can hop the feet to the hands this time. So it's like a little handstand hop. You're going to gaze forwards, bend the knees, draw the heels to the sit bones, and landing with the feet just behind the hands. Walk them together and find your gentle forward fold. And 5 deep breaths. You can hold your hands wherever's comfortable. Each time you come to your forward fold, just see if you can sink a little deeper than the last time. And on your next inhale, slowly rolling up to standing, bend the knees, draw up through the shoulders, keep the chin tucked till the last moment, reach your hands up, palms together, and then step in your feet nice and wide, coming down to a prayer squat position, hands to heart center, press your heels down, keep your spine long, and we're going to hold Balasana prayer squat. And then on your exhale, you're finding your way down to seated. So press forwards, sink the hips down, draw the feet together, and slowly lay down onto your back. So we're going to come to little butterfly kicks. I want you to extend your legs out in front of you. You can either sit on the hands or keep them just next to you. And just be mindful of pressing the lower back into the mat. We're going to lift the heels off the floor, about an inch or 2 off the mat, and slowly start to flutter your legs up and down. 10 seconds. 8, 6, 4, 2, and back down. Relax your feet, reach your arms behind you, just lengthen your body out, and then slowly drawing the hands back down, coming to our next movement. Squeeze the knees together. We're going to be drawing the knees to the forehead now. So remember, we're going to press the palms down as you inhale, draw the knees to the forehead. Your hips will lift up, and exhale, tap your feet down. 9 more to go. So when we do these core movements, we want to really work that midsection to its limits. So a little bit of shaking is normal. It just means your muscles are working. We've got 5 more. See if you can get the knees all the way to the chin or the forehead. And last 2. And when you've done your last one, draw the knees in nice and close, and a big roll forwards to your plank position. Take the hands down, step back, and find your downward dog. So hips nice and high. Try to lengthen your spine. A few easy breaths here. And then slowly rolling forward, so elevate your heels. Draw the pelvis towards the belly button. Coming through the rolling wave. We're going to take a more relaxed upward dog this time. So when the shoulders come over the wrists, you're going to start to draw the hips down to the mat. Just make sure the hands are under the shoulders and start to draw them behind you. So really lengthening the front line of your body. Try to lift your chin towards the ceiling. Just focus on those deep inhales and exhales. And then tucking the chin, pressing into the upper back. Find your way back to downward dog. And we're going to float the feet to the hands to your forward fold. So bend the knees, look forwards, a light hop. And when you get there, walking the feet together. Keep your legs a little straighter than last time. And a slow exhale. Let your torso sink down onto the legs. Wrap your arms behind you. Hold onto the elbows. And each time you exhale, just think about folding a little deeper. And then releasing your arms down. Start to roll up to standing. And finding mountain pose. So reach the hands up, relax the shoulders. Keep grounding down through the feet. And then take a nice wide stance. Coming down to our prayer squat. So hands to heart center, press your heels down, sink your hips down to the mat, keep your spine long, and find your way to seated. So engage your core, press forwards, lower down onto the mat, feet together, and we're coming through boat pose now. So first modified version, we're going to start off with the hands just behind the thighs. Remember to sit up nice and tall. You want to keep your chest lifted. Make sure you don't go onto the lower back. And holding for 5 seconds. So draw the toes up to eye level. Squeeze the knees together. Try not to use your hands too much behind the legs. And then as you exhale, releasing back down, sit up nice and tall. So this time we're going to see if we can take the hands away from the legs, holding for 5 deep breaths. So inhale, chest lifted, draw your belly button in, gaze over the toes, extend your arms out in front of you. 5, 4, squeeze the knees together, 3, 2, and 1. Extend your legs out in front of you, reach your arms up high, and find a deep fold. So you're going to reach the hands to the outside of the feet. You can bend the knees here if you need to. Make sure your spine is long, and slowly start to fold down onto the legs. We're going to hold for 10 seconds. So when you're in your fold now, each time you inhale, see if you can lengthen your torso forwards. And each time you exhale, see if you can press your chest down onto the thighs. If the knees are bent, you're working on pressing the legs down onto the mat. And we're coming up to our boat pose again. So a deep inhale, lift the chest, extend your arms, start to draw the knees up, squeeze the feet together, and 5 deep breaths. If you want, you can see if you can extend the legs up, keep gazing over the toes, keep lifting your chest. 3, 2, and 1. Relax the legs down, reach your arms up, and a slow exhale, fold a little further this time. So hands around the side of the feet, press your belly button and chest down, take the forehead down towards the shins. You're either staying there or see if you can maybe interlace the fingers. So this is really going to help. Just get a nice, good grip on the feet, and it should help you fold a little deeper. And then on your next inhale, release the feet, coming all the way up. Draw the heels in. We're coming from a high boat to a low boat now. So you're going to keep the hands down just next to the hips. You're going to make sure you're grounding down through the sit bones. Lift your toes so that they're eye level, and then take the forearms down to the mat. So we want to come to our low boat by extending the legs just above the mat. And then as you inhale, you're going to sit up, press through the elbows, lift your chest, and extend your arms. We're going to do 4 more of these. So hands down, forearms down, extend the legs, and inhale, back up, reach your hands to your toes. 3 more to go. Try and do it nice and controlled. And last 2. On your last one, see if you can keep the hands lifted as you lower down, reach back up, and then relax your legs down onto the mat. Good job. So draw your right foot into the left thigh. We're coming to a deeper stretch. Now we're going to hold here. So draw that right foot into the left thigh. Let the knee fall down wherever it goes. Reach the arms up. And as you exhale, fold down over your left leg. Try to keep the left toes flexed. And there is a little bit of a twist here. So try to get your belly button onto that left thigh. Try to press your chest down onto the knee. And as you start to sink down to the posture, see if you can walk your hands a little further forwards, maybe interlacing the fingers around the foot. And then on your inhale, releasing the hands, coming back up. Draw that left foot in. We're coming to 5 more, high boat to low boat. So again, hands down just next to the hips. Extend the legs out, take the elbows down. Inhale, come to your high boat. So 4 more to go. As you come up, try and flex the toes, try to reach the hands towards the feet. And don't worry if you're shaking on the way down, that's just your core doing the work. And last one. Good job, you've done your last one. Extend the legs down, draw the left foot into the right thigh. Try to keep the toes flexed on the right foot. Reach your arms up high, and a slow exhale, start to fall down. Hold on wherever you can. And it's a slight twist so that belly button's turning to press down onto the right thigh. And then see if you can walk your hands a little further forwards. Maybe holding onto the outside of the foot. And just using your breath in these deeper folds. So on the exhale, just seeing if you can extend a little further forwards and sink a little deeper. And on your inhale, coming all the way back up. Extend your legs out in front of you and slowly find your way onto your back. So here we're going to draw the heels in nice and close. We're going to extend the legs straight up. You can sit on the hands if it's comfortable. Just make sure the lower back's pressing into the mat. We want to flex the feet so the soles of the feet are facing the ceiling. And you can have your knees bent if it's a little bit tight in the hamstrings. So we're going to do 5 leg lifts. As you exhale, let the feet come down just above the mat. And just pause for a second. And then as you inhale, taking them all the way back up. So that's 1. We're doing 4 more. Again, try and pause as the feet come down. And use the inhale to extend the legs back to the starting point. And 2 more to go. And last one. When you've done your last one, we're going to extend the arms towards the feet. So we're going to keep the legs as still as we can, and we're going to do 5 sit-ups here. So as you inhale, reach your hands towards the shins or the heels, and as you exhale, relax back down. So 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good job. So that was your last one. You're going to find your way into a plow pose position now. So remember, all the weights on the shoulders here. You're going to start off with the hands on the lower back. Press your elbows down into the mat. We want to try to get the hips stacked over the shoulders. So as the feet come behind you, really engage the core muscles so that the hips can lift up. You can keep your hands on your lower back for support, or you can interlace the fingers and press the hands down towards the floor. So really focus on your breath in plow pose. All your lungs are squashed, so you really want to breathe in and out through the nose. And then from our plow pose, we're coming up to a shoulder stand. So take your hands to the lower back, press into the elbows, try to keep them nice and close. You're going to start to draw the feet forwards, point the toes, and press your heels up to the ceiling. So in shoulder stand, this is an inversion, and what we want to do is activate the core. Imagine someone's pulling your feet a little bit higher, lifting your legs up towards the ceiling, and just keep gazing up towards the toes. And then on your next exhale, just draw the heels into the sit bones. Take the knees down towards the forehead and slowly rolling out. We're going to come up through our vinyasa, so cross the ankles, take the hands down, step back or hop back to your plank position. And then slowly rolling back to downward dog. So we're either going to hold our downward dog, or you've got the option to do your split leg handstand kick-ups. So if you're going to do kick-ups, try and do 3 or 4 on each side. Remember, one leg's coming up, and what we want to do is gaze between the hands, swing that leg, and try and float the feet up to the ceiling. So as you kick up, you're going to let your heels come to the ceiling. Keep your arms nice and strong. So just do 3 or 4 on each side. Remember to lock the arms out. Focus on that landing. If you're not doing kick-ups, you're just staying in downward dog, focusing on your hamstrings stretching out. Just focus on that float down. And when you've done your last one, we're all going to find our way to the front of the mat. So hop the feet to the outside of the hands. Find your press squat position. Sink the hips down, take the palms together. I'm just going to hold Malasana press squat before we come to our arm balance. So crow pose. When we do crow pose, we want to have the knees squeezing up into the upper arms like we are now. We want to be drawing the heels into the sit bones, and we want to be grounding down through the hands. So this is a really good prep pose for your arm balance. So from here, we're going to take the hands down, we're going to walk the feet together, and we're going to sink the hips down to the heels, come onto the toes, and coming up to our crow pose. So remember, you can take it slow. We're going to first ground the hands down, spread your fingers nice and wide, draw the knees out, and from here, lifting the hips high, bend your elbows, and create a shelf for the knees to sit on. Make sure you're squeezing the knees in, you're activating the core, keep your chest lifted, keep looking up, and start to rock forwards. You're either staying there or drawing the heels into the sit bones, and wherever you are, try and hold for 3 deep breaths. Keep squeezing those heels in, and then after a few breaths, dropping the feet down, slowly find your way down to the mat. Extend your legs out in front of you, and just coming down onto your back. And we're just going to come through a few moments of silent meditation or concentration. So let your feet fall down to the side, lay your arms down alongside you, and take a deep inhale through your nose, fill your belly with air. And a nice slow exhale. And on your next inhale, reaching your arms overhead, still keeping the eyes closed. Just stretch your body out. Make it as long as possible. And then when you're ready on your exhale, hugging your knees into your chest and just gently rocking backwards and forwards, side to side, massaging the spine. And you can find your way up to a seated position. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Good job, everyone. Thank you for joining me on the last day of our challenge. Don't forget to hit subscribe. The next challenge will come out next month. So I look forward to seeing you on your mat again. And thank you for joining me.